Now, how could you, in good conscience, claim all the things Hallmark claims and then just say we're going to stand on the sidelines? Imagine this was drunk driving, and Hallmark was asked to participate, and advocate for safe driving laws, safe drunk driving laws, and they said no, we're going to not. We don't get involved in divisive issues. Imagine if they did that. Well, that's, of course, they didn't do that because there wasn't a group saying that we have a right to drive drunk. Uh,
Good
but
point,
because,
right. And
but
if you
be,
don't, and our right to drive drunk is in the Constitution, and if you don't support it, we'll make sure that you're not reelected. You're right, so it didn't have that backlash. Elliot, can you speak a little bit more about the Newtown aspect to this Hallmark action?
yes, I can. Uh, the Newtown reality is that everybody now knows that everyone in the America is at risk. Doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in, where you are. The NRA's agenda is that, in fact, we live in a society where everyone carries a gun at all times in any place they want and can carry any kind of gun they want. That's the society they want. We did, by the way, we did that once. If you remember Dodge City, and they wound up having to cut Dodge City in half. Well, one side you could carry guns, and one side nobody could have a gun. But
And
the
there's a
people on
country.
this side are driven by sales. They have, facts and history mean nothing to them. Uh, I'm talking about the gun extremists, of course, which is about a quarter of the NRA membership, about 1 million people, and of course the NRA board. Uh, so uh, the people in Newtown want to prevent in every possible way other towns, families, citizens from suffering what they've suffered. And besides the moral, ethical precepts and calls by religious people of faith, that's what faith is based about, recognizing the dignity of human life and the uh, uh, unique and special thing human life is. And then having the victims of Newtown who have experienced the horror of something they will never get past. I've never gotten past it, and I won't ever, nor do I want to. I don't want to forget my son, and the people in Newtown don't want to forget their children or their neighbors' children. And they're just committed, dedicated to get us sane gun laws, and they're going to do what it takes. We're going to have a tidal wave of people demanding, and pushing for sane gun laws. And we're
Elliot,
going to get corporate America off the sidelines.
when you think about what happened to your son who was simply eating dinner in a restaurant in San Diego, or you think of the parents of kids who simply sent their kids to school, if those would have been like a tornado or a hurricane or something like that, then you say, oh, well, life is so sad and full of suffering. Those were completely preventable events that were courtesy of the gun lobby. And I think people need to remember that, because the gun lobby likes to pretend that these things just happen. They don't just happen. And we've talked so often about other countries where they don't happen.
You're absolutely right, Martha. We can't forget. And to know that these things are preventable, and for the chairman of Hallmark to say we are not going to get involved in divisive issues as though that's an acceptable response, we're not going to let it stand. It's as simple as that. We're not going to let it stand. We are going after corporate America, and we're going to get them off the sidelines. Hallmark is the first. Our goal is to develop a leadership council of leading corporations to advocate and make sure that we get sane gun laws.